Hi again, it's Olivia. This is the second installment of my video series called Becoming OliviaSLP. It's about my journey to becoming a speech and language pathologist. When undergrads who are interested in SLP find out that I'm actually headed to the University of Western Ontario for SLP, they have 1,000 questions for me. So this is a little bit of a Q&A to answer some of those questions. How did I become interested in speech and language pathology? It was a dark and stormy night. No, I'm just kidding. It was at my piano lessons when I was a teenager. My piano teacher suggested I had the right temperament to be a speech therapist. So I looked into it and I thought, hey, I could do that. I love languages. When it came time to apply to undergrad programs, I looked for programs with the most amount of prerequisites that grad schools needed. I ended up at the University of Guelph in the Arts and Science program, studying biology and developmental psychology. I knew this program included a developmental course, linguistics courses, courses in statistics, and physiology. Most graduate programs actually have a very similar prerequisites, just some have more science ones and social science ones. However, I noticed that Guelph didn't have a phonetics course. What if my university doesn't offer blank prerequisite? Easy. Take a course at another university with a letter of permission. I ended up taking the phonetics course at the University of Toronto. It was actually really cool to see how another university taught their classes, and just to experience another university was really neat. Most graduate programs also accept online courses, so if you can't go to a certain university, they may offer the course that you need online. How do I collect volunteer hours? Ask around. Professors, friends, walk into a speech and language clinic, do a Google search on speech and language pathologists in your area. Call them or email them and just let them know that you're serious about volunteering or about shadowing them or even just talking to them. Even an hour conversation with a speech and language therapist might tell you if you're right for the profession. I ended up shadowing an SLP in private practice, working with kids in articulation in a hospital setting and in a group setting. I worked with kids in schools. I visited an elderly patient with aphasia, and I also did an aphasia group with about 10 participants. This was over the course of about 3 or 4 years, so I would suggest start early with your volunteer hours and try to go to a variety of settings. How do I get reference letters? Become friends with your profs. Ask them questions before class, during class, after class, in their office hours. Let them know your face. You could even ask them if they need volunteers for the projects that they're working on, apply for jobs under the professors, and even summer internships. What it really comes down to is that if a prof doesn't know you, how are they supposed to write an outstanding reference letter? How do I write my statement of intent? Remember those professor friends you have now? Well, you can ask them for advice or ask them to review your statement of intent. Perhaps they've been on an admission committee and actually know exactly what universities are looking for in a statement of intent. You can also look up references. So I did a Google search on how to write a statement of intent, and there's lots of examples and ideas and things to say and what not to say. Very, very good advice. Also, your university will probably provide workshops on how to apply to grad school, which includes how to write a statement of intent or a statement of interest. Which universities are right for me? There are many Canadian universities that offer speech and language programs. However, there are many US schools that also offer speech and language programs. I've met successful SLPs who have studied abroad, come back, done their Castle Plus certification, and they're now working in Ontario. Just remember that you'll have to take the GREs in order to apply to US schools, and that may take up to half of a year to prepare for. That's about it for now. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, please leave them in the comments below, or you can tweet me at OliviaSLP.